Hi there, my name is Cal Regan, JCR Solutions here in Australia. What follows is a short presentation on tarnish and the problems that it causes in the jewellery industry. We'll discuss various methods of removing tarnish, which will include using ultrasonic machines, using abrasive methods, chemical dips, and electrochemical methods, and we hope you'll enjoy it. What you see here is a very tired display of jewellery, and it's made tired because of tarnish and because of handling. Now, removing the little fingerprints which come from handling is very easy because they're oily. So you can use either a cloth or you can use a little bit of detergent. But what you can't get rid of is tarnish. I'm going to show you this in an ultrasonic. You can leave it in the ultrasonic forever really, and it won't take the tarnish off. Now, the reason for that is that tarnish is a chemical compound and it's caused by sulfur in the atmosphere, and usually in the form of sulfides. Now what happens is when it comes into contact with the silver, it actually converts itself and attaches itself to the metal, so it becomes part of it. So it's very difficult to remove. The same sort of thing happens with gold as well, which is quite extraordinary. And there are other complications when it comes to cleaning items which have tarnished, because you can have soft stones and you can have chemically reactive stones. Now, what follows, I hope you'll find interesting. There'll be various forms of cleaning. Some are complicated, some are a little extreme, and others not. As we've seen, tarnish is very difficult to remove. It's a chemical compound which is formed on the surface of the metal, and as such it will need energy to remove it. Now we can do that using abrasives, where we actually cut through the surface of the tarnish down to the polished surface of the metal underneath. We can apply energy using a chemical dip. That's where the chemical actually provides the energy to convert the tarnish into a gas, or alternatively we can use electrochemical means. More of this a little bit later. I'm going to remove the tarnish from this fork using an impregnated polishing cloth. In this case I've used Jeweller's Rouge, but it would be just the same if you were to use a impregnated polishing cloth, made by Selvet, those sorts of things. Now what I'll do is this. I'm going to cut through that tarnish with the polishing cloth. Now I'm cutting right through the tarnish and I'm actually taking some of the metal off. You can see that be slightly black. Now I'll turn that over and I'll polish it. Now as you can see, that actually has removed the tarnish, but it does, this is just an exaggerated condition. You can actually see inside here, you'll still see, do you see those little crevices? You can actually see some of the tarnish in there. Now in some cases this actually enhances the jewellery, particularly the jewellery which has been patinated, and that's the look you want. In that case, then a polishing cloth is fine. But generally speaking, it is just a relatively quick fix, and it actually doesn't brighten the jewellery up. You run other risks. The polishing cloth can actually pick up large abrasive particles, and they can actually damage the surface as well. But that would be a reasonable demonstration just to show you that. Here we are at the jeweller's mop. This is slightly more aggressive abrasive cleaner than the hand cleaning that we did earlier, so it has to be done with discretion. It's particularly good on items that have got scratches, but if they haven't got scratches on, all you're aiming to do is to remove the tarnish and as little metal as possible. So here we go. I'm going to be very gentle with this. Just taking off enough metal to remove the tarnish. There we are. It's very lightly finishing off. Now, one byproduct of cleaning with thin abrasive is that you get grease on the surface, so that'll have to be removed with an ultrasonic a little later. However, I'd just like to draw to your attention these sorts of items here, which do pose a major problem when cleaning the surface with a polishing mop. You can see here there are passages of matted silver and there are polished silver, and there's also a freshwater pearl. Now if I touch that freshwater pearl on the mop, it'll actually mar the surface, and this would go for any pearl or malachite or lapis. Those sorts of stones are very soft, so you'd have to be extremely careful. So I'm just going to very gently do this now, just to pick up those areas that I can do without any damage at all. But I'm going to have to leave this area here where it's matted. Now another complication is I can't actually put this into an ultrasonic machine because the pearl will be damaged. So that's a major problem. There is another item which can't be cleaned using these abrasive methods, and that is this, particularly this earring. Now you can see here this is matted gold, but there's also polished gold as well. If I was to put this on the mop or use a polishing cloth, I'd actually put highlights on this matted surface, which is not what you're looking for. Here we are back again. I've brought the fork. We cleaned on the mop and also the little ring. But before I deal with those now, I'll show you one very good use of a polishing cloth. You'll see on patinated jewellery like this, you'd have to be extremely careful with the mop, because that would go into these areas here and remove the patination, which is not what you want. So what you do is you get your polishing cloth and you can just very gently rub the highlights. Now you'd have to be a bit careful about touching these freshwater pearls or any soft stone. That would be something like opal or, as I said earlier, malachite, lapis, those sorts of stones, because they're very soft. So I'm just going to go over these highlighted areas and I'm going to polish those clean. But because I have used the rouge as before, there will be grease on the surface of the jewellery. Now in the case of freshwater pearls and those other stones I've spoken about, you daren't put them directly into the ultrasonic. So what you'd need to do is to use a washout brush, that's a washout brush, and a little bit of detergent. So what you do is just gently brush it. There's detergent in here incidentally. So you just gently brush the area that you cleaned and then rinse it in water, like that. And I do exactly the same with the other ring which we cleaned earlier. So I'm just going to use the washout brush on all those little areas and just gently remove the grease that's on there. And we'll just pop that in there. And finally, the fork, that's fine to go into the ultrasonic. No damage will happen there. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Another way of removing tarnish from silver and from gold is to use a chemical dip. Now, the chemical dip is a pretty reactive chemical, because you'll remember before we discussed the tarnish was a compound, and that means energy was used in actually forming it. It's not a particulate matter like dust or grime. It's actually attached to the surface. So by their nature, chemical cleaners are pretty reactive, so they have to be used with caution. Another disadvantage with a chemical cleaner is that they are usually acidic, and they will damage stones like lapis lazuli, as you can see here. They will damage opal like that. and they will certainly damage pearl, and hematite is another one. It will make it go very cloudy. So you have to apply it. If you plan to use a chemical dip cleaner, you have to apply it with a brush. Now, a chemical dip would be absolutely perfect to remove tarnish from a matted surface, because you're not going to abrade the surface in any way, so you'll preserve your mattedness there. But there is a downside. It actually will erode the surface of the metal. So you really need to confine your cleaning to as fewer times as possible, because you'll find also that it will tarnish very badly later. Now, the other thing to watch is a lot of jewellery is hollow, and that means if you do dip your jewellery into a solution, chemical dip solution, no matter how you clean the surface, you're going to find that some is going to remain in the hollows, and when you come to wear it, it's actually going to go onto your skin. Now, some of the cleaners contain thiourea, which is a carcinogen, and that is actually absorbed through your skin, so you need to be particularly careful when you do use the chemical cleaners. But they do work. They will remove tarnish very effectively. There's one other method that is used, which goes under the heading of abrasive cleaning, and that is the tumbler. Now, this is an absolutely marvellous machine, but you have to be a little bit careful with it, because, as we mentioned earlier, very soft stones, pearl, shell, the other stones that I mentioned previously, can be damaged by abrasives. And also all the jewellery is in the container and it's rubbing against itself and against the media. So you can get damage when you do that sort of cleaning. But it is very effective for some things, but not all. But as you'll see very soon, there is no reason to use destructive cleaning methods.